Hello, everybody, and welcome into the program this morning. And we are here with our monthly program with our CEO, General Manager Britt Dye. Good morning, Britt.
Good morning, Don.
Got a lot going on here. Spring is sprung, but we still had some really cold weather in the last month or so, and I'm sure we got a few cold snaps left to come.
Well, you have all those locusts and blackberry, dogwood, and all those winter times that come through, especially, by May the 15th or something, you start looking, maybe it's getting ready to turn warm again. So.
Yeah, well, we're looking forward to some warmer temperatures for sure, and yesterday, the governor was in town. He mentioned in his speech at Count Blunt about broadband, something that I know you were proud to hear. Plus, it's something you've been working on. We've actually had 2 grants and working on another one.
We are working on the 3rd grant for the north part of the county. And, we hope that we get the funding. Everything's been turned in. We met the deadline, actually before the deadline. And I talked to Governor Lee yesterday and told him how much I appreciated him helping us get some funds, on the other grants that we have so far, and hope to get some more.
Well, the government and everybody has realized the importance of broadband in the rural areas. I know COVID really brought it on, but it's been coming on for a while because it's just to the point now where it's hard to live without broadband. I know you've had it that way at your house too.
Well, I'd like to get it some point in time, but new technology, that's the future.
That's right.
So, with broadband, internet, speeds, all those kinds of things are going to be very important, more important in the future than they are today, actually.
Yeah, and it's hard to actually do much of anything from banking to just staying in touch with family and friends. It's almost like the old days of when they brought the telephone in. We're in that situation now where people's going to get broadband somehow, some way.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, Rick, one other thing, we'll just start right here. You sent out about 1,500 of these letters. These letters were to, I guess, business customers. Is that correct?
All business customers. Now, some customers got them like if you had a pump service or barn service or something like that, but they were all commercial rate customers that got the letter. We sent that letter just to let everybody know the status of where we are with materials and supplies and how complicated it is to get some material and supplies. It's to help the developers, large consumers, all those folks know that, if you got something planned in the future to come up, don't wait till the last minute. I mean, we can still get the material, but, it could be 42 weeks, could be 60-something weeks. We know right now transformers for a substation is out at least 2 years, but don't wait till the last minute to plan something, because if you want it next week for service, it might not can happen. And that's things that we do not have control. Transformers are hard to get these days, everything like that. But that's just to let them all know where we are. Don't wait till the last minute to get something planned. Get with FPU and tell us what your plans are so we can help you plan and be prepared to get your development started and done, those kinds of things.
Well, when you talk about development, from industrial development to just residential development, when you talk about transformers, you're talking about an expensive piece, but the expense of that all the way down to the little things, everything is hard to get these days.
Everything is hard to get, and, that's from split boats to kearneys, gas pipe, water pipe, those, because the expenses have gone up so much, here lately, and it's all due to everything that's been happening, for the last a little over 2 years now. And we support growth. We want growth in our community, and we're going to do everything we can to help get that to a certain degree. But it's not telling anybody that we're not doing anything. We still want to keep doing it, but you're going to have to help us plan far enough ahead to get it done. But it's not a moratorium on anything out there, of not being able to develop.
Yeah, we can do anything. It just takes a little longer. That's basically what your letter is saying to all the customers that we sent that to. And so it's good to let the public know that this is an issue. It's an issue not only with us, but with every business we deal with.
Every business. Now, we're one of the few utilities, we still have somewhat supply, but we had been planning on this at the very first when COVID first hit. So we try to plan, and I feel like that the board and the staff and all have done a great job of trying to get material and try to keep material, but there's some material you just can't get. You can order it today, and like a transformer manufacturer the other day sent out an email that says if you want transformers for 2023, you have to order today. Wow. So, we can't control that. We can only order, and then once you get the material in here, what the quote was that day that you ordered the transformers, like we got some in the other day, and they came in and they were almost 5% higher than what the actual quote was. So, that's what we're having to deal with, and we were just informing those customers that, you contractors, and especially your developers and all that, if you call in here and want something, it doesn't mean that you're not going to get it. It might not be as fast as you used to get it.
Right. Well, when you deal with the increased cost, and we live on budgets here at FPU and anywhere, how do you handle that kind of major increase that we see across the board? I mean, how do you possibly keep up with that?
Well, what we do is when we budget, we try to have a contingency on everything that we do. Now, sometimes the contingencies work out. Sometimes they do not, but we do have contingencies based in on somewhat the way that the supplies have been now going, like I said, over a little over 2 years, and it's really helped us out on that planning process. So, you don't want to bear all the expense to the customer because you still have to be fair with the customer what's going on, but at the same time, we got to keep all the ratepayers whole.
That's right. And so that's a pretty big job just to keep up with that and to keep the rates low, and also keep ahead of those kind of increases. I don't know how, and we're seeing that across the board, not only with just gas prices, but basically everything.
It's with everything these days, and the gas prices, if everybody knows what's going on at Ukraine and
right.
Russia and those kinds of places, and it changes things for us too. And
right.
They're talking about the gas prices going up, then they go down, then a barrel of oil goes up, then it goes down, and because we really could have increased our gas prices to what the justification was, like $1.16, and we decided not to do that because we felt like that the gas prices might go down. So when we had our increase from $1.08 to $1.11, we planned that. We hope we planned it good, but we might not have, but we hope we did anyway.
Well, that's hard to balance when it moves around that much. But anyway, well, we're doing what we can. We appreciate you and the accounting and everybody there that takes care of all that. Keeps our rates low and keeps our power and our water and our gas and everything running. So
well, we try our best.
That's right. All right. Well, as we mentioned, we're looking for some spring weather coming, and this is a time a lot of digging's going on, a lot of building's going on. That's another thing. That's one reason you sent out this letter. So we want everybody to be real careful when they're digging because there's a lot in the ground.
That is correct. And I will tell you, before you dig anything, you need to call 811, get the locations marked and all, because I know how some of the other competition, how they charge, and it's getting expensive if you have to do repairs, and it's best that you call 811 to get everything located before you dig and tear it up, because it can be very expensive to repair.
Well, when they do dial 811, then we're notified, correct? Is that how that
correct.
works? And then we send somebody out, and they're checking for all the things underground. And when you think of underground stuff, it's not always water, it's not always gas. There's also electric underground.
There's electric and fiber these days, a lot more fiber in the ground there ever has been. And, the locates, if we go out and locate and we don't locate it correctly and it gets hit, that's our responsibility. But if it's located and you hit it, it's your responsibility.
Right. Well, we're going to do our best to mark it where you can see it, and I'm sure people who are listening and watching just need to be very careful and make sure they call 811 before they do any digging. We mentioned the cold weather, and we've had some pretty cold weather, and it's one thing that we always talk about this time of year. People could get on budget billing, and that kind of keeps the bill kind of level.
It does, and it helps out, those that are on fixed income, those
right. kinds
of things, and they can't say enough about it, about how much it does help. And we know that there is some folks that has hard times, but you let our CSRs know, and we'll work out something but we do offer that as well.
One thing that you and I have talked about the last couple of months on here is this pretty big project going along with the Huntsville Highway. Hey, where are we at with that, and how'd that go?
Well, if you're going south, the east side of the highway is almost completed. Now on the west side, we're in the process of changing a lot of the old street lights out to LEDs. We're just picking and choosing sections of that area to be beneficial in how we justify lighting up the highway really good. I was out there this morning at real early and to see how we were, because we put some new lights up on the west side of the highway, to see how many more lights we're going to have to need down through there, and they'll be working some more on that possibly this afternoon. But Friday, for some reason, I don't know where all the traffic comes from, but I mean, that Huntsville Highway, it is really, really busy. And, you know, I got several folks out there working, and I don't want nobody to get hurt. And all these cell phones and everything that people are on, sometimes we're on their cell phones not paying attention. I don't want to get somebody out there ran over, you know. So we try to be careful with that.
Me and you've been out there before, and we pull over, we put our flashers on, but boy, there's people get really close, and it's uncomfortable for me. One thing about your guys, though, they get kind of numb to it because they're out in it every day.
Well, that's right, but you know, you still have people that doesn't pay attention, and because we've had some close calls out there, and you know, we got signs, we got vests, we got all that, we got flaggers sometimes, and you know, you try and slow traffic down, they don't even pay attention to that, and you know, I just hate to get somebody hurt.
Yeah, and you know, one other thing people might not realize, we've done a lot of that work at night, overnight.
We've done a lot of it at night to try to beat traffic, but at the same time, we've done a lot of it at night to help the businesses where they're not closed during the day, you know, to hurt their revenue that they got coming in on the business parts of the day. So we try to do it at night to accommodate those as well.
Yeah. Coming up in April 18th is National Lineman Appreciation Day. That's a big day, and we also just had gas, I guess, is that what it's called? Gas Worker Day. That was in March. So we usually combine those together and have a little celebration here for that. These guys are very important to our company and very important to the public, just to keep everybody safe and keep our lights and our power and our water on.
Well, we're very proud that, you know, we have employees and, you know, in the line crews, gas crews, water crews, all the crews, the telecom, you know, all the way down to our CSRs and everybody that works here. But, you know, it's very demanding, and the expectations of our employees is growing greater every day. And we've been having department meetings with all of our employees and telling how much more we're going to have to pick up on the expectation. Customers want more, they expect more. And we have to be readily available to meet all the challenges that's going on. And so we're putting all that together now as planning to make sure we meet the expectations of the customers. But, you know, all those employees that work like that, especially the outside folks, you know, they work 24/7. They're on call all the time, as some of us are on call all the time, and to be available at customers' needs.
Right. Well, this past week in the paper, I think we was in there 3 times, but one time was about the STEM grant, which is something I know you're proud of, over at Ralph Askins. Tell everybody about what happened over there.
Well, we went over, and plus we worked with TVA on these STEM grant fundings, and, you know, was able to award that for their they had certain classes that were going to get that STEM grant funds, and we were just tickled to death to be part of it. And now we got another big program that will be coming up, and as soon as we get more detail on that, we'll make that announcement, because it's going to be a real nice announcement to make as well. So, you know, we're just trying to help everybody get as much funding as they can, because in my understanding, you know, there's lots of money out there, and we're going to try to get all we can, but it just takes time to get it.
Yep. You should be seeing in the mailbox soon, if it's not already there, the Tennessee Magazine. Britt has a little article in there right off in the front part of the magazine, and then the middle part of the magazine we have 7 other pages that we have 6 other pages plus yours would be 7 that tells you about what all's happening here at Fayetteville Public Utilities, and we try to cover most of that stuff here on our program here on the television, but on YouTube and on our Facebook page and all that. We're trying to keep everything going there. And Britt, we appreciate you coming in early this morning and talking to us. And you got a busy day ahead, and we're going to do our best to take care of our customers.
Yes, we are, and I appreciate everything of the customers being patient and working with us. But, we talk about all of our departments, and I think we have like 3 more departments for meetings, and we just go over several things. Meeting when the board met, strategic planning, which started in 2020, and it went through it goes through 2023, and it's amazing of everything that we had planned and put in the strategic planning process that we've met every goal, except for one maybe, and that's on retention policies right now. But that's underway, and it's just really, really amazing how we've met all of our goals of what we felt like was going to be happening in 3 years from 20. Right. And so next year we'll be having another strategic planning process to go through, because we're not sitting back and waiting. Our long-term plans of, like on the electric, we got a 5-year work plan, a 20-year load forecast plan. Gas and water, they're pushing right at 5-year plans and 2-year plans. And where we are on telecom right now. We've been planning for this for a long time to extend out in the rural community. And, also Mayor Newman's helped us out a lot to get some support, and we're going to be partnering with them somewhat of getting broadband to the rural community, but we just can't get there fast enough. Because, when I talk to those people and they want to know when they're going to get it, let's get the funding first, and that's going to take a while. Then it's going to take a while to get the infrastructure built. So we're going to get there, and I hope we're going to get there. That's our plans anyway. But, our employees do a great job, and which our employers are the most valuable asset that FPU has, and we depend on them a lot, and our demand of our employees are very, very tough, and they'll all tell you that, but we all want to meet the expectations of our customers.
Absolutely. Well, if you with our vision, if you don't have vision, the future will sneak up on you. You know how that is. So it's good that we're thinking ahead and trying to make sure that we're ready for the future, and that's a full-time job, because some things just surprise you. What we wouldn't have dreamed, things happen the way they are.
Yeah, some things do surprise us, but we try to plan, be prepared, and our aggressive tree trimming program has paid off quite a bit. We had some outages the other night when the wind got really, really high, but before it would have been worse than what it has been. But because of the way that our trees are, and we're opening up the right-of-way a lot wider because customers are working with us, and say cut what you want to cut, but you still might have a what they call a danger tree that's 100 foot tall that could still fall out of the woods and hit the power line. But we do appreciate the customers working with us to cut down on our outages with an aggressive tree trimming program.
Well, with the winds that we had this week, the system had to hold up pretty good, because we had a few outages here and there, but not that many, and not as many as you think, because, some of that was rated at hurricane-type winds, and surprisingly, we held up pretty well.
Yep, and then plus we got a maintenance program ongoing with our pole changes and those kinds of things too, so that's helping out quite a bit. But we're, like I said, what's good today, we got to be better tomorrow. So
got to be better.
That's what we focus on.
All right. Britt Dye, CEO, General Manager, with us today on our monthly report. We appreciate you talking to us, and we will do this again next month.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you. Appreciate you watching here on Fayetteville Public Utilities, and we will see you back in here next month.